So this is the placements of the gods leading into Worlds. And what we're going to do is we're going to go down the list and we are going to correct them. The Legend SS are this tier compromised god tiered characters, which have the innate ability to be placed on any team. So essentially, gods that are top picked and banned every fucking game. If they get through, they're definitely top picked. They're most banned. S plus is your top tiers, which are gods usually first pick, first ban material. So they're kind of the same. This is just super broken. This is your first pick, first ban. S is above the point of balance. This pool of gods should compromise the team compositions for most competitive games. So these are the gods that are in almost every game. Probably your top 3 picks consistently that make it through bans. A, the focal point of balance. These gods should see no changes. So these gods are thrown into competitive play a lot. They're not always picked. They're not must picks. They're just always there. They're there a lot. I'm sorry. B is still somewhat strong, but completely viable in all situations. Not completely viable in all situations. So that's going to be your situational picks. Your somebody likes playing a certain god picks, that kind of shit. C is weak overall. Team composition generally will need to be built around the character. D is very low rate of pick and not viable in competitive. And we're back to the tier list. I would have been pissed if it reset. So we've got Baron at S plus. I disagree already. Baron, I don't think was really banned at all, and it was actually picked somewhat rarely in the competitive scene. I don't know why he has it as S plus still. It's a priority pick for some teams. It is not a must pick, must ban, so it's definitely not S plus. It is not in every single game. It's not a must pick in every single game, so it's not going to be S. I'm going to put it in A plus because it is still really good. Erlang Shen, S plus, one of the best jungler, also role swapped into support. Good placement. Freya, S plus, great placement. She was picked and banned almost every single game. Janice, not picked and banned in every single game. Janice was picked after all the mids were banned or taken. Or picked if it got to a point where they needed mobility. Definitely not a picked and banned every game at all. You could argue S tier to where the god was played a lot, but it wasn't picked in every single game. There's a lot of shit picked over it, and it was not prioritized in the top 3 all the time. So I can't place it there either. We're going to place it in A plus because that's where it makes the most sense. I don't know why he has a hard on for Janice. It makes no fucking sense. Mercury, obviously one of the best junglers in the game, probably the best. S plus is perfect placement. Odin was heavy prioritized in this land because Erlang Shen is so good, because Mercury is so good, because Freya is so good, because Pele is so good, because the top mages are not leap mages. They're Apwash. Fucking, what's the other one, dude? Why can't I think? What is the other mage that got played a lot and it's immobile? Oh, Heroin, don't worry. We're getting to that shit. I don't remember the other fucking mage. Why can't I think of it? We'll get back to it. We'll come. Vulcan, yeah, Vulcan. Vulcan, being picked and prioritized. Fucking Odin just too good. It also counters a lot of the healing that's picked up. It counters Terra. Yeah. Pele, another top jungler, picked almost every single game. It destroyed in most of the games. Pure hybrid. Solid placement. These gods are good. Agni and S tier make no sense because Agni was another god that I don't remember seeing like at all. Like maybe a handful of games. Maybe a handful of games. Not even. More like 1 game, 2 games. Agni's gonna fall down an A plus because he's a safe god. He's not great in any situation. It's not like he's the best pick. He's just a good god. Pwash is gonna move up to S tier. I can't even move it up to S plus. I want to. So Pwash was picked every single game, and it was banned every single game. So I guess I have to put it in S plus because that's kind of the ideal, right? Like S plus picked and banned first. I guess it wasn't. Was it first pick? It was starting to get first picked, and it was banned in every game. We're putting Pwash in S plus. It was literally Pwash is the best mid in the game at a competitive level. I mean, even fucking Armada. I talked to them, and they were like, "Yeah, he came in with a god pool of like Soul, and then we saw Pwash was good, so we just picked it up, started playing it at the LAN." So like, that being said, Athena's a really good priority pick. Definitely not higher. I really wouldn't put her lower. Good solo, good support. Was dumpstering in both roles. Jingwei, probably the safest hunter. Maybe not the best hunter, but she was played because she's super fucking safe. And she's got a lot of control, and she's not going to lose farm. So S plus is good. Raijin, I'm okay with the S tier placement. I kind of want to drop him down to A+, but I think because you have gods like fucking Odin being played a lot and Raijin's Clear being good and strong, I'm okay with the placement. I'm not going to argue it. Sobek being S tier is kind of weird because he wasn't really priority picked at all. It's a solo lane god that's fairly safe. I'll put him down into A+ because he's just used as a disruption late game out of the solo lane. Pretty fucking simple there. Terra being S tier triggers the fuck out of me because Terra was top picked and banned in. I think it was picked in almost every top picked every game. I can't think of a game where it wasn't prioritized. Oh yeah, Jingwei is anti Freya. You dash out of the whoop. It's safe. Like I said, it just falls into the category of being safe. It's a decent counter to Freya. That's assuming Freya's going to be in the ADC role. Terra is probably the top pick god right now. Solo laner diving with Soul Reaver. That's it. That's all there is. I don't know where the fuck this comes from. I don't know how in the world you can call yourself someone who has a knowledge of competitive Smite and you're putting Ullr into fucking S tier. Where the fuck did that come from? It got played like 1 or 2 fucking times. Like, I don't even remember it being played. Did Paul even fucking play this? Because he's the only one who plays this shit. Why? How? That's not a Zatman respect ban. The Zooler is the Zooler, dude. It's not going to take it up to S tier. Like, we're going to leave that at A tier. Average fucking hunter that can be played into most matchups. High pressure. Was not being prioritized at the LAN. Don't know why Ul is S tier at all. Achilles came up as like a solid counter in the solo lane. And I think he got played in the jungle once by Twig. It didn't really do anything special in my eyes. Like it's definitely not an A+. It's not going to be in a majority of the games. It was just a situational pick. It's good. It can be in games if it needs to be. It cannot be in them. A tier. We already did Agni. Ao Kwang. I don't know why Ao Kwang is A+. Ao Kwang literally just doesn't get fucking played. At a competitive level, it is definitely super situational and not going to be viable in all situations at all. So I'm going to put Quang down in B+ right now. Artio is heavy prioritized NA, not heavy prioritized into Europe. We saw that. Europe was the better fucking region, so I can't put Artio in S where NA would want it. A+ works for me. Baron, we already changed. Cerberus is a really good solo and a decent support. I'm fine with A+. Chernobog dropped out of being prioritized, which was interesting because he's not super safe, and I think that's the only reason. Like, his dash is safe, but his ult overall is more of an aggressive thing, and at LAN, everyone's playing super passive, which is weird, so I'm fine with leaving that A+. Chiron was super heavy priority picked. I'm going to move Chiron up to S tier because of all the CC that's in meta right now. Lewis Rock, thank you for the sub. Because of all the CC that's in meta now, and Chiron just being another safe god that can do a lot for the team to fucking dispel out of the fact that you can get your team out of CC, get yourself out of CC, definitely like one of the most prioritized hunters next to fucking Jingwei and Freya. Easily. Dodgy, solid counter pick, was played a lot because junglers are getting banned. Once you get past these junglers, you are looking at a teamfight jungler. Dodgy fills a role. Discordia was prioritized by... What was the team, dude? What was the team? Was it Mouse? By Mouse? They were heavy in a Discordia. Fucking Obey played it, and he did really well with it. I kind of like it in the mid lane. I'm okay with A+. Staying there. Easy. Ganesh. Kiki played Ganesh solo, I think. I don't know if it was played much outside of that. I don't remember it being a useful god in many games, so I'm going to drop him down to A tier and just be a normal average god. Hachi's still super safe ADC. I'm fine with A+. Hebo being A+ is super fucking weird because it's definitely a situational pick that's not played a lot. It's only being played in the mid lane. I don't know why it's here. It's dropping down to B+. Just doesn't make sense. Paul plays it because Paul can play Hebo, and he's a fucking master Hebo. But overall, the god is not going to be doing shit and being played a lot. Doesn't make sense. Hachi, safe hunter. Fine with that. Hunbats, teamfight god, kind of similar to Dodgy. Works in the A+ tier. Janice, we moved. Kumba, I want to fall down to A tier. I think Kumba's okay, but I think EU kind of showed that Kumba is not a super solid pick right now. Kazimbo is being prioritized a lot because of the picks that are in meta, and he's super freaking annoying, so A+ is good. Medusa, average, I'm going to drop down to A. I don't think she's a crazy place in the meta. Neath, I'm actually okay with A plus because people are running strategies where the ADC is basically AFK. You're just farming. So being able to like be useful in team fights, Neath is good. Naja, pressure, I'm fine with A plus because you want pressure on the jungle still. And a lot of the fights are mid 3v3s. Naja's mid 3v3 is pretty fucking good. I'm okay with Raw staying here. Awesome in the mid 3v3s. Rama is another safe hunter. Good in team fights. Ratatowski, I think, was under prioritized at LAN. I talked with Cope about this. I think Rat's better than everyone thinks it is, especially in a LAN setting. Kind of like Thor used to come back into LAN. I think Rat's the like Thor swap. I like Thor or Rat being A plus. Sobek we moved. Wukong was being played into like Baron or something just for the counter rotations. I don't think it was a priority pick solo laner, so I'm gonna drop it into A. Morrigan, I didn't get played all that much. Still a mid laner, still a solo laner. I didn't see enough to move her out of A plus. And Zhong Kui, still super fucking good. He's played a lot more. I'm fine with A plus. Achilles we moved. Honor's fine in A. Apollo's fine in A. These guys are just average. Ares saw a lot more play. I really liked Ares. I'm gonna put Ares up in A plus. Does well in the Erlang Shen. Does well in Odin. Even though you get locked down if you're just being aggressive on Ares, it's fine. Does well into fucking Terra. Does well in a lot of these gods. I think Ares really got used and kind of just exploited for how good he is. Did I skip Susano? Susano is good as fuck. I low-key underestimated this. Frosty Axe pulled this bitch out. And I like Susano. Mainly, I like it in the immobile mages. So, like, he dumpstered Zeus. He dumpstered Prime Zeus. And I think it works the same into, like, Vulcan and Pwash and all those gods. So, Susano's going to stay A+. Baka, we're going to move up to A+. Everyone rage. All right, here. We're going to have a breakdown of this. Because people who don't usually watch me are going to watch this tier list. Because I'm telling you, fucking, what's his name's, this tier list is most of it's fucking, I'd say like half, right? Half is fucking garbage. Half it's good. The Baka build that I went, which is apparently terrible. So we didn't have pen. Literally the next game, Ice Baby went the exact same build with power boots. And then the game after that, the set after that, Lasbro went it with the same exact Baka build. Same build, no pen. With tank boots. And then after that, I'm fairly certain Ladam ran it without the Magi's, but still no pen and other tank boots. So, while I understand the need for penetration, if you are able to play the game through to the late game and you're able to dive the mages and shit, it's not that important at that stage in the game. And most of us would have sold Golden Blade for Executioner. So, everyone who's watching this and has anything negative to say about my build, I want you to wake the fuck up and ask yourself, how the hell are you going to try to roast my build for not having Executioner when there's the same fucking build with tank boots? Same fucking build, the same day. Less than an hour later, the same fucking day. Ask yourself, how can you be so stupid and ignorant and naive to just listen to what somebody's saying about something being bad when they can't even play the game at a master's fucking level? That's ranked. That's not even competitive. Stop fooling yourself. These people out here that have nothing to do with competitive don't know competitive. They have no clue what's going on. They don't know the builds. They don't know the meta. They don't actually know what's good. They're just speaking after the fact on shit to sound smart so you'll keep watching them and giving them money. It's ridiculous. It's actually insane that there are some of you who have IQs low enough to just fall for that fucking trap. Because it's not a super fucking, it's not that secretive. Like, it's not that hard to see through. There's no way you have nothing to do with competitive and then magically have the knowledge to understand competitive. There's going to be some ranked players out there that are going to be able to tell you, like, why fucking Apwash is picked, why this and that. But they're not going to understand the game overall. Then you drop down to somebody who's fucking terrible at the game and just talks a lot. How the hell are they going to know what's good? Please just think about that for 5 seconds the next time you watch a competitive game and you believe the first thing that's said. Because it's insane that you guys believe some of this shit. It fucking blows my mind. It blows my mind that you could say, where's the pen on Baka, and not realize that there's a Golden Blade in the build that is 100% going to be sold late game because it's fucking worthless. Also, the fact that you can't recognize, oh, I think all 3 Bakasuras are behind. 15k down or some shit like that. You think at some point maybe the build got altered because they fell so far behind? Maybe. Maybe they fell behind. There's a lot of CC, so they picked up a Magi's Blessing in the place of an Executioner. Whoa! Holy shit! Competitive player thought that through, but a full-time ex-caster couldn't think that far through? Couldn't give you guys that information? Just saying, man. Just saying. It really not that in-depth. Not that difficult. Takes about 5 seconds to figure it out. Not that difficult. Bologna being A tier is kind of bullshit because Bologna's trash. Doesn't get played that much. Doesn't win many lanes. B+. Kabrakan, I think, will have a higher play rate at this Worlds because it counters Erlang Shen. I think people will let Erlang Shen through and run Kabrakan into it, but I'm okay with it being A for now. Kamazot's Andy played it. Still kind of a like situational pick. Like an Andy pick, so I'm going to drop it into B+. Chalk doesn't get played at all. Situational for somebody, B+. Kronos got played by Paul. Kind of liked it. Definitely a mid laner that comes through as a situational pick, but once shit is banned. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily great or bad in anything, so I'm fine with leaving it an A. Cullen doesn't get touched too much right now as like a priority pick, so we'll leave him in A. Cupid got played a lot more because it counters these leaps. It's a good pressure kill lane in the duo lane. I think Snoopy played it a lot. Cupid is... I want to move Cupid up, honestly, to A+. I really like Cupid right now as the hunters in the game. Like, look at the hunters that are being played. Look at the gods that are being prioritized. And you can play Cupid and just be super fucking annoying in lane. It's awesome. I don't like Fafnir right now, so A is kind of fine. I don't think he's bad. I just think he's worse than a lot of the other Guardians. Fenrir. I don't know how you watch this last LAN and you come up with Fenrir in A tier, bro. How is Fenrir in A tier? It literally dumpstered in the support role for so many fucking people, and it was getting banned. Like, this shit was being taken away. I'm moving Fenrir up to S tier. There's no way you're gonna fucking tell me otherwise. That shit was being played to the point where people were afraid of it and banning it in the support role. They didn't know how to beat it. They didn't know what to counter it. It's very fucking annoying. It's super aggressive in lane. These guys were missing like half of their leaps in lane and then still coming out in the team fights and being the most useful support in the game. Like, hello? Why is Pwash S+? Because of his clear being insane, his team fight being nuts. It's really hard to dive him. And he has the best 3v3 fight out of all the mages right now over the mid camp, which is being prioritized. I'm guessing whoever you watched during the LAN probably didn't mention the fact that almost every fight was over mid camps rather than the NA meta of over red buffs. Something that might be able to prioritize why Bakasur is also better, because you can secure mids very easily while also positioning to fight, because those corridors are super easy to pinch. But yeah, besides the fact, right? Everybody, like he knew it. He just didn't feel like telling you. We moved Ganesh already. We moved Geb already, right? I think Geb is fine here. Geb is just like an average god. I do kind of think Geb is better than Fafnir, but they all have their situations where they'll be played. Herc is pretty meh. I don't like it too much. I'm going to drop it into B+ because he's not prioritized. He's definitely going to be situational. He's not going to be good into a lot of matchups, and Warriors just aren't super strong right now. Ho Yi is going to move up to A+. Ho Yi has buff clear, which is safe. So if you're losing lane from like at level 1, you know you're going to lose lane. You can just clear the buffs and be safe. Plus, your team fight is really good with the ult, especially with Odin being prioritized. Kali being A tier blows my fucking mind. She's not even thought about at a competitive level right now. If someone brings her out at Worlds, great. More power to him, but nobody fucking talks about this bitch. C tier. Trash ass god. No items make Kali a priority. No meta makes it. She's not good in the mid 3v3 fight. Her ultimate is not that good because of the amount of CC, the amount of fucking peel, how good upgraded Shell is. Like, there's no way you're like, Kali's the pick for me. Like, I want Kali jungle here. It doesn't happen. Loki's going to go down to B tier. Doesn't get touched at all. Not safe. Really hard to play through the game, especially the early and mid game. We moved Medusa. Nemesis being A tier blows my mind. Sam had some of the best games of the LAN on Nemesis. I think I had like an 8-0 game, which is it's LATAM, but like Nemesis had a really good showing at the LAN. Definitely one of the junglers you're pulling out after you ban Mercury, after you ban Shen, Pele. Like, if those gods are gone, Nemesis is definitely prioritized. We're getting to Nox. We're getting to the Whirlwind fucking Nox mid. That shit blew my mind because at LAN, mid 3v3s are prioritized, right? Like we talked about this. So you're in small corridors with a Nox. Silence, root, crazy ult, double damage out of the dash. Pretty insane. Usually you'd think Nox is bad because Nox doesn't have crazy lane clear, but because the game is slowed down so much and only played over the mid camps, Nox is insane right now. Like easily, Herwin came across the Nox fucking pick and 100% need to be like everyone should have started playing it. We're moving Nox up to A+. If Nox isn't played more, I'm going to be a little upset because late game, which you're going to get to in this meta, he was ulting people for 70% of their health. He literally won a team fight with a Nox ult that hit the carry and the mid for 70% of the health. The fight was over instantly. They were sieging the duo lane tier 2 tower. It literally smacked them both. Fight was over. That was it. So if you can play in a meta where early clear doesn't matter, and against a lot of these gods, it really didn't matter even if you were playing high pressure, and then just fight over the mid camps, play with your team, and then use the ult productively, either to do damage or to negate damage because it reduces damage done when it hits the enemy team. I don't know how Nox isn't being played more. I honestly don't know, unless people just can't land the combos, because it doesn't make fucking sense. It's the perfect pick in a lot of these situations. It's super safe because of the dash. You can jump into somebody and jump out of an Odin all if they have Odin. Like it is a solid fucking pick right now. And I think it's easily the most underrated pick next to Fenrir because Fenrir started getting picked up. Nox needs to be played more. It doesn't make sense that it doesn't get played more. Medusa can stay in A, pretty average. Nuwa can stay in A because you're just playing to be super safe in ult late game. Osiris needs to drop down because he doesn't get touched at all. We'll put him in B+, extremely situational. Ravana got played a couple times after junglers were banned. Kind of the same situation as Nemesis, but I think Nemesis is a way better 3v3 fight in mid. Just a way better team fight ultimate. Plus, you can go the carry build if you want. You can go the hybrid build and just be a ult bot. We have Soul. Soul did okay. I think it was played in mid by Sops. I don't know if it was played too much anywhere else. I'm fine with A on Soul. We moved Wukong. Thanatos being A is kind of weird. Extremely situational. You're going to play that if it's your pick. That's it. We moved Ul. Vamana, I guess, can be played into Baron, so I'm okay with leaving it at A. Vulcan being A blows my mind because I think Vulcan is one of the best mages. Kind of in between S and A+. I kind of want to put, like, if I'm going to put Raijin at S, I got to put Vulcan at S. I think Vulcan was another priority pick for a lot of teams because of the mid team fight. Like, the disruption with the knockups and the mid team fights. That's all it comes down to. When you're looking at mages, that's the only place they were fighting until late game. Vulcan's late game is obviously good. He's going to get locked in the Odin cage, but so is every other fucking mage. So you can't think too much of it. That simple. Shibalake got played by one team, I think. Did okay. Team fight ultimate's still really annoying, but we're going to leave him in A. Xingten, I'm dropping down to B+. I think he's situational. I don't think he can be played in every game. Ymir got played a little bit. I'm okay with leaving it in A because fucking Raffer played it on Obey and he did well with it. Even though it lacked mobility, it was kind of weird. Worked. Zeus being in A works. Another thing people, for some, like, I had Zeus in C tier last fucking tier list. The immobile mages definitely made a jump up, like your Pwash, your Vulcan, and your Zeus. I still think Zeus is way worse than Vulcan. I think Vulcan has a self-peel, and it's not all about damage. It's a little bit harder to dive a Vulcan that's playing correctly. And then Pwash has the self-peel with the ultimate on top of the sustain and the slow. So you're playing off of that. Zeus self-peel is all damage. It's pretty much like literally 95% damage. And if you're just diving through it, there's nothing you can do. Having the self-peel makes the other mages better. I'm fine with Zeus being ace here now. Like I said, over the mid 3v3 fight, having a Zeus is sick. It works out. Obey is really the only team that prioritizes it, so I'm not going to move it up. AMC, fine. Anubis, fine, even though he played it. Afro's pretty mad. All these gods are super situational. None of these gods are going to be just picked. Okay, that's a lie. I don't think Chunga is situational at all. I think Chunga can be played into most team comps in the solo lane and even the mid lane if you really wanted to. Chunga definitely gets moved up. CERN with the buff. I'm gonna move CERN up because of the buffs to A. He might even be higher prioritized because his ult now has a slow and his 2 has an extra tick of damage. So his clear's a little bit better, his ult's a little bit better in team fights. His ult's probably gonna be insane in team fights, to be honest. It's gonna be super underrated until we see it. Hebo we moved. Hades is fine. Ice is fine. Izanami's fine. Poseidon got played once, got dumpstered. Scylla, I think, can move up to A with a lot of when you need a mobile mage, Scylla's your pick. And I think Scylla can be played into most team comps. Serket being B plus is super weird. I don't understand this at all. Serket has always been one of the just top. You just build hybrid and you be annoying. That's what Serket does. So A plus is gonna move up. Same god, same shit. Sylvanas is gonna move up to A because he can be played a lot in the ADC or the duo lane still. Thor didn't get played at all. I'm fine with it being situational. Thoth didn't get played at all. Situational. Same with Tyr. Ama. I don't know about Ama being in B tier. Kind of weird. Because if you want to put it anywhere, you're going to put it in B plus or A. I think Ama can be played into a lot of team comps right now. Nike, I'd move up to B plus because it's super situational. Scotty sucks. Arachne definitely sucks, sadly. And then Kali sucks. We moved already. So there is corrected, in my eyes, near absolute. You could argue some things around placements, like one placement, but anything I move like 2 placements up just means the original tier list was super fucked and extremely wrong.